So a major turning point in my life was this realization I had whilst hiding behind the bins in some random alleyway, hiding from one of my worst ever bullies. I must have been about 14, and from what I can remember, my mum had just dropped me off in town because it was a weekend day, and I was going to get a haircut. So I was walking down the street towards this barber shop when I look up and I see this guy in front of me, this bully from school, walking straight towards me. And without even thinking, this was like as instant as anything. It didn't even run through my head. I just did it. Just darted to the right down this side street and then into this alley and just crouched down behind these bins. Like, it was kind of gross, but I did not care about any of that. All I cared was this guy didn't see me, that he couldn't find me. And I wasn't sure at the time if he'd noticed me or not, but then I hear his voice. I hear him say to these other people he must have been with, "He was just here. I don't know where he went." And I know at that point that if he'd found me, it would have been just like in school every day. Him using it as an opportunity to humiliate me in front of others, to ridicule me, to bully me, to make himself seem more popular. And yeah, just the feeling in that moment, I can't even describe the pain. This just crushing sense of dread, this pit in the bottom of my stomach because of what I'd realized from this happening to me. I think in that moment I realized that unless I was to just stay at home all day, every day of my life, then there really wasn't anywhere else in the world where I could really feel safe. Because already up to this point, I'd wake up every day for school feeling sick with anxiety, physically sick, feeling this sense of dread, tying up my shoes, leaving the house to get the bus. This wave of nausea, thinking about like going to registration each morning. And more than anything, just this extreme feeling of tension in my body, this inability to relax, feeling like at any moment, at any time throughout this school day, something bad was going to happen to me. And I couldn't let it. So I needed to be alert every single moment of the day to anticipate this danger, this bad thing happening to me, so I wouldn't get hurt. And it's only now that I've begun to realize that so much of these experiences, these patterns that I developed as a way of saving myself from that hurt, that pain that I experienced from these bullies all throughout my time in school. So many of the things I've hated about myself for so many years. This suspicion that I have of people, like my inability to trust others, the feeling of unease I get around new people, this like hatred of being the center of attention, or when I'm acting in a way that I feel is like awkward, or I'm being too quiet, I'm being too introverted. All of this can be traced back to those experiences and just not wanting to be hurt anymore. And actually having those realizations that I'm still kind of suffering from that pain now was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. This awareness of everything that's been going on for so long, connecting those experiences, has just been so liberating, and it's been the only thing that's allowed me to kind of move on from it all. So just before I get into the video, I just want to say that I'm looking to give back to my community. I'm looking to get to know a few of you guys a little bit better. So I'm going to be offering a free coaching package. Nothing formal, nothing too serious. If you're interested in jumping on a call with me for half an hour, I'll listen to your problems. I'll see if there's anything you can help with. I think ideally, I'd like to help with the types of problems I'm explaining in this video, because I mean, knowing this stuff a lot earlier than I found out about it for sure would have helped me. So if that sounds interesting to you, totally free, book a call with me through the link in my bio. See if I can help you. So many of the things I hated about myself, these awkward behaviors, this belief that I'm this really introverted person, that I'm a shy person, so many things I thought I knew about myself, and that's barely even scratching the surface of like all of it, was shaped by this bullying that I went through, this hyper-vigilance, believing I was in danger all the time, and just not wanting to get hurt anymore. So much of my like decisions, whether they're like conscious or unconscious decisions, have been shaped by that. My behaviors, my actions, whether I've known it or not, it's all come from this like avoidance of pain. I just wanted to go through like a load of these like patterns I've identified, really. Yeah, so just to start off, just to give you a little bit of context about how I learned all this. So I've basically been doing like a bit of like a deep dive into the nervous system and the role that plays in terms of the emotions we feel, and how I've kind of connected that to my own experiences. So the nervous system is our body's way of protecting us from danger, scanning our current environment, like looking for threats. Is there anything that I need to be wary of here? Is there anything that could cause me harm? So obviously that comes from like the time when there were like legitimate predators around, where we could get eaten or something by a bear, and you needed to be like switched on. Like if there's something in my environment that could kill me, like I need to be aware of it, because I might need to get the hell out of this situation in a moment's notice. But nowadays, in like the modern era, we're not just looking for physical threats, we're looking for like emotional threats, if that makes sense. And this is what I was going through in school. It was like, sure, there were times where I did get hurt physically, but a lot of this bullying came down to like public ridicule and humiliation and shame. Feeling these like deeply negative emotions that just like you never want to feel. And you probably agree that like sometimes emotional harm is worse than physical harm. Like if you've been through a breakup before, you probably say that's like more painful overall than like falling over and hurting your knee or something. But what I've learned is that these emotional scars can just run deep. There were times in school where, so one of my major patterns was this like period before school. This is when I feel like the most anxious. And it was specifically because it was like most people would arrive into school early because their bus would get to school early, and it'd be like everyone's just waiting around for registration, and there's like no one watching you. A bunch of teenagers just fucking around, really. And I remember like a few times, well, one time in particular, I opened the door to like go into the building where my class was taking registration. And like before I even knew what was happening, a chair just fucking hit me in the face. Someone had just launched a chair at me from the top of this staircase and just hit me straight in the fucking head like I was seeing stars. And it's experiences like that, it was like, and everyone laughing at me after, just like things like that that could happen so suddenly, just out of nowhere, that just put like the fear of God in me. Like I need to be on guard all the time. Or this particular fear that I have around like turning up late to things now. It sounds kind of weird. I'm very afraid to like turn up late to meetings, and like, so it could be things at work, it could be things in my social life. I'm afraid of turning up late. And I've connected this to this experience that I had where like I went to this conference not that long ago for work, and I was like one of the latest to arrive, and I went into this like massive conference hall, and everyone was already sitting at these tables. There's like about 20 tables all across the room, probably like 150 people in here. And I've been feeling good before, but suddenly as I stepped in that room and I saw everyone looking at me, I just felt like the teenage version of myself again. I felt like a child. Suddenly had this exact same like pit in my stomach, this wave of anxiety washing over me. Just feeling like I'm going to pass out. And I've realized this is almost like the exact same trigger that I would get in school when I would turn up late for class, and I'd walk into the class and everyone would just shout things at me. Like I'd be walking to my seat, people were like throwing things, people like punching me as I walked past them. And just like the humiliation I would feel in those moments, that's made me deathly afraid of like being the center of attention or turning up late to things. So yeah, it's these emotional scars that get stored as memories. So this is how the nervous system works. It kind of operates off of like these memories. It's like, rather than normal memories like images, your nervous system stores these like emotional memories, these times when you were made to feel some deep pain. It stores them up in your body, and it tells you, I never want to feel this bad again. I never want to feel this terrible. So then what happens is you end up taking that forward with you into the future. And anything that even vaguely reminds you of that, you end up experiencing that exact same range of emotions. You get that wave of anxiety, which is your nervous system's way of telling you, I might be in danger here. There's something I need to be careful of. I need to keep on top of this. Even when there isn't any danger there. Even when you could logically say, nothing bad is going to happen to me. Like in a work environment, I work with nice people, but I still experience these feelings even though I know like they're not going to ridicule me. But yeah, it's just, no one knows, there'll be people, so many people going through this exact experience who don't even like understand the complexity of what they've been through. Because this experience in school of just every moment of the day expecting something bad to happen to you, that essentially means my nervous system for the last like 10 years has been working overtime, has been like extremely overactive because it's gotten used to expecting danger. I expect things to go wrong. I expect pain. And what do you think that does to someone's decision-making process? It guides you in a way that involves making as little noise as possible or going as unnoticed as possible. And another thing I wanted to bring up was, I believed I was this deeply introverted person for so many years in a row. So many years I was known as the quietest kid in school. And I kind of accepted that as part of my identity. Like, I am just this shy, quiet person. But it never occurred to me that actually this was just another way I evolved to cope with just feeling in danger. Like, I had this thing where I'd get seated next to some random person in class. And at this point, I just expected everyone I met to just be a vile bully to me, because that had been my experience so far. And I kind of just gave up on speaking to people. Didn't even make an effort. So I developed that reputation of being this like ultra silent kid. When really, it's just my way of not getting hurt. If I don't let people in, then they can't hurt me anymore. And my overall objective with going to school was to kind of just be as small as possible, be as quiet as possible in order to go unnoticed. And surely if that happens, then I'm minimizing the chance of something bad happening to me. And again, I carried this label of like introvert with me for many years. I'm an introverted person, you know, I'm just quieter than other people. Really, it was this defense mechanism. And it's only now that I've kind of started to, now that I'm like more aware of these patterns, I'm more at ease in my social life. I don't think I am actually that introverted. I think I'm just traumatized. I think the real me, the one who I am around my most trusted people, I'm loud, I'm like high energy, I'm fearless. But yeah, it's your nervous system oftentimes reacting to this old pain. And it's impossible not to when every day of your life, which it would have been for some people, constantly in danger, constantly feeling this danger. So now it's like hypersensitive to anything that reminds it of that danger. It's all about not getting hurt anymore. So I guess just to start thinking about wrapping up the video, there's no easy solution to these problems. Like even now, I don't know if you could hear it in my voice at different points in this video, like I don't want to play a victim. I'm like looking objectively at everything that's happened to me. And I am sad talking about it. Like it was just, I think about this teenage version of myself. And I look at him as almost like a separate person to myself. I look at him as like this innocent, naive kid who was just so unaware of all the bad things that were going to happen to him, and I want to cry, honestly. And I don't want to say anything corny like this happened for a reason, but naturally, if you've listened all the way to the end, you would have started connecting some of these experiences to like things you went through. and also how maybe they're manifesting in your current behavior. So if there's like homework for this video, start thinking, what could those painful emotional experiences be? You don't have to pinpoint those exactly, but there's usually like a few standout moments in your life that you can kind of point to, or like time periods rather, and say, this is probably where this feeling is coming from. For instance, I had it now where I have it pretty much every week because I have to do like a lot of public speaking and presenting in my job. And I start to get like irrationally scared every time. Like a bit of nerves is normal, but then I start to like kind of feel like a little bit faint sometimes. And it's in those moments I can pause for a moment. I can say, I know what's really going on here. I'm not reacting to the current situation. I'm reacting to the past. I'm reacting to old fear, old danger, which is no longer there. It served me at one point in my life. It was there to protect me. But now the danger doesn't exist anymore. No one here can hurt me. Not truly. And just saying that to myself, even just being like aware of it, bringing it to mind for like a good 5 to 10 seconds, that's powerful. That breaks those feelings in my body, this anxious tension. And as much as I struggle with what happened to me, becoming aware of it gives me power over those experiences. And stops them from unconsciously guiding me to places I don't want to go. So I know this video is a little bit all over the place, but yeah, this is quite a personal topic for me. Hopefully you got some value out of it. And again, if you're interested in hopping on a call with me, super informal, low stakes, let me see if I can help, go and book a call for 30 minutes in the link in my bio. Take care. See you in the next one.